Welcome back to your Lighten Up Method trainings. And today we're going to be talking about the ego self versus the soul self. So the reason why this is important is because most of us are operating in our lower self, or as many of you may have heard, the shadow self. So these are the aspects of our self that operate from lack, a lot of fear and judgment are around that lower self. And it leaves you with having these repetitive thoughts, maybe having a lot of self-critical thoughts, having your worth dependent on external things. Maybe you're wearing certain, socially acceptable masks depending on which scenario you're in. And the reason why, the ego self is something that we want to start dissolving and letting go of is because it really holds you back from your true authentic self. When you start to live from this soul self, then you start to have more openness. You have the ability to move up that scale from the prior video. And so when we start to operate from our soul self, we become more curious instead of judgmental. We experience more acceptance instead of denial, oneness instead of separation, and more flexibility. And so what I've seen, over the past several years with a lot of clients is that they're so stuck in this ego self that it's so hard for them to get any momentum because they're stuck in this fearful, self-doubt and self-loathing that they're not able to even move forward towards that vision, towards that dream that they want for their life. So incorporating the soul self is really important. Transmuting this energy and dissolving the ego, getting to that soul self is going to be paramount for you to align with that vision of your higher self. So the ego is all about, the lower self, and this is all about your higher self or highest self. And so the higher self is the infinite wise part of you that you were born with, and then you got conditioned and fears came into your realm and you started to doubt who you were. But at the soul level, this is who you are. You are that infinitely divine being, that connected person who, you have joy, you have self-expression. And so we want to start getting you closer to your soul self and allowing that ego to dissolve. And one of the first ways that you can begin doing this is to just be aware, right? Awareness is really the key in all of this. Really starting to see, what are my thoughts? What are my negative, what is that chatter in my mind? Maybe it's, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable. What are those lower conversations that you're having internally? And how can you start to be aware of them? That's really the first step, becoming aware. And then choosing not to believe them. Just realizing, hey, this is an old pattern. It's an old story that's running my life. And so as you start to hear the conversations that go on in your head, you can start to release them. You can start to choose a different thought, a more empowering thought. And as you start to release and dissolve this, you naturally step into who you really are, which is really part of this whole journey. So acceptance, being more flexible, having more curiosity instead of judgment is all part of the soul self. So a way to cultivate the soul self, one of the ways is to meditate. So meditation is simple. You don't have to have any grand, devotional space. Of course, you can have that if you want, but you can literally just sit down. There's something called the Insight Timer. It's an app on your phone that you can download. You can choose any slot of time, 0 to 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, however long you want to meditate. And you sit down and you really tap in. This whole process is really looking inward, and we're going to be releasing and letting go through meditation, coming back to your breath. That's really what it's all about. It's meditation is a powerful tool to help clear and cleanse a lot of these old stories, energies, and belief systems. So meditation is huge to start integrating your soul self and release a lot of this energetic baggage from the past. And so that's a really great way to start integrating the soul self. Meditation, maybe for you, it's doing a walking meditation or being in nature or exercising. getting yourself into a higher vibrational state is in alignment with the soul self. And when you start to integrate that higher self, you're going to start seeing new opportunities. So maybe you go to the grocery store and you see a new product that you want to buy that's going to help you. Maybe it's goji berries, or it's, a high vibrational food like that. Or maybe you see a new job opportunity online. All of these things are going to start coming to you because you're not operating from a place of lack in this lower ego self. You're going to start opening yourself up to these new opportunities that are going to help you get to that vision. So one extremely easy way, like I said, meditate. Make that a daily practice. Make it a 5 or 10 minute thing that you anchor in and do every single day. That's going to help you tremendously to increase that particle rate so that you're getting to that vision. You're visualizing, you're feeling the emotion, you're meditating, you're getting clear on what that person it looks like. Who are you behaving as your highest self? Are you more calm? Are you more confident? What does that look like to you? When you're in meditation, you can begin visualizing that. And as I said in the first video, that's really the first piece of that manifestation ritual and starting to plant those seeds in the quantum field so you can begin manifesting quickly. So I will talk to you on the next video and talk to you soon.